Yo, my Transformers family, welcome back to George Reviews. We are welcoming back Transformers to the channel. I've been trying to get through some products, some toys that I have. That's why you haven't been seeing Transformers, because sometimes it gets a little bit boring because I love Transformers so much. It's the only thing I can think about, and I have to take a break to do other toys. But Transformers are back. Today on George Reviews, we have Transformers the Movie Studio Series 1986 Brawn. He is designated at number 22. On the front of his packaging, it says, has Autobot symbol, says Brawn, 8+, Hasbro, Transformers Generation, Takara Tomy. Side of the box is some artwork for Brawn. There's this picture on the front of the box. It's pretty cool. It's not super amazing, but it's pretty cool. Back of the box, it says big screen inspired scale detail backdrop, the little insert that comes with all of these guys now. There's a picture of Brawn in robot mode, and in vehicle mode says 23 steps to transform Brawn. Also says Transformers the Movie Brawn, Decepticon Shuttle Ambush. And inside the box is some Studio Series 86. He is a deluxe class figure. Even to this day, I still forget which class they're in. Even when I'm like putting in the description for the figure, I'm like, what class? And, you know what I'm saying? Toys is toys to me. You know what I mean? We got the big ones, we got the little ones, we got the medium ones. So this is a deluxe class figure. But anyway, let's get this guy off the table and get him open. So I am going to slit the top of the tape for Brawn. Slide Brawn out, his gun's falling everywhere. Here's his handgun. We rarely saw a handgun for Brawn. It was always something generic, and this is no different. This is very generic. Anyway, let me continue with the unboxing. Inside of the box is the insert, and we get it. Oh, this one is different. There's the hole in the shuttle where Brawn ran up and met his fate. This is pretty cool. What I wish they had done, because I always throw these out, they should have had a connect and build the scene. Like everybody in the shuttle part could have built like the shuttle surroundings and the whole, you know what I mean, depending on what scene they were in. Because like I say, this thing is very, very cool, but I'm not going to keep it. And the inside of the box contains the warning sheet of paper and some instructions for Brawn. But you know we don't do instructions. No matter how bad we may screw up the transformation, there are no instructions here. Nothing further inside of the box. Let's get Brawn free. He has a couple of tie-ons on him. And he's sticking through the back of the package. Be careful of that. I almost just yanked him out. I should have known the look. And I have a scratch on my windshield right there. Pretty sure I didn't do that cutting them out. So this concludes the unboxing portion of the review. Alright, before I get deep into the review, I'm going to put him on a little display. The funny thing is he should be facing this way. Megatron! Decepticons! Put him up on this little display. This will be the only time I ever use this. Like right now. Bam! Let's take a look at Brawn. He's one of my absolute favorite characters. I related to him when I was a kid. I was like the little tubby strong guy. And that's sort of what Brawn is. And always was, man. And in the 1984 wave, the first few Autobots we got before they expanded the universe, he was second strongest only to Optimus Prime. Sort of like big things come in small packages. Take a look at Brawn, spin him around real quick. Let's take a look at his face. Let's start right there. This is his face. Looks very cartoon inspired and nothing like the G1 toy except for the mullet helmet. Has a painted blue eye set into the head. Molded in face and lips. I believe the helmet on top looks like it's painted gray. I don't know if that's the actual gray plastic. No, the face is painted silver. Does the head turn? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was just checking it out. I know we ain't came to that part yet, but I don't think the head turns. And one thing I can see off rip that annoys me is that the paint is bleeding through the cracks. I don't know if I got too much light on it, but my naked eye, you can see the greenish paint underneath the line work all over the toy. And on the joints right here, we have yellow plastic. And you know, I feel that they should use yellow plastic or the color plastic of the part. And clearly, there's yellow plastic at the waist and down here in these hinges. But a critical area, which is this chest, and this looks like a whole separate piece that could have been done in yellow plastic, like all the way around here. And you can see like the paint bleed where they couldn't bother to prime it at first, and you just have that. Like, you have the color plastic. Why not take advantage of that? And that always bugs the heck out of me. I can forgive it on the arms. Now, even though I would want this to be silver plastic, but this looks like it's paint as well because the inner hand is green. Anyway, let me keep going. I'm getting off track here. Take a look at his face. Let's see how much it looks like the movie or cartoon model. He always looked a little bit like B. Arthur to me. He has some molded vents on his chest, Autobot symbol right there, and his legs are yellow and green plastic. Has some silver paint right there, some molded in detail in the bottom of his feet right there. Again, his nickel-plated knuckles are painted silver on his hands. We have some molded in fists. Looks pretty good. We got some hollowing going on, but you know that's what they do now. And I'm pretty sure that hand folds away for transformation, or maybe, geez, it's stuck or what? Yeah, oh, man, it's like mine is painted shut. All right, I'm glad we loosened it up before we get to the transformation. Let me loosen this one up too. I mean, it's literally painted shut. Oh, man, jeez. And I still can't fold it in. All right, we're going to need that later on. I spinning him around. You can see the roof of the truck and a spare tire on top. Gas can ass right there. I wish it folded back one more. I guess it can fold back one more time. I don't know. Maybe not sit flush, but see the two tires back here or whatever. And here's our little tubby guy, Brawn. He comes with one accessory, little generic pistol. It's molded in black plastic. And jeez, would it killed him to hit this with the same silver that's on his hands. I would have preferred if it was casted in silver, or maybe this gray plastic that's on his head would have been better. Let's get in his hand. He just ran up on Megatron in a whole battalion of Decepticons with no weapon. He was just gonna like throw hands on everybody. Megatron was like, don't bring those nickel-plated knuckles to a gunfight. Here's with his gun in his hands. The same port for every figure in this line. Don't get me to try to quote what size that is because I can't remember, even though I should, because I've done it 1,000 times. But if he had, he might still be alive if he had this gun. Or Brawn, if you had waited for the other Autobots to charge in. Totally almost forgot about articulation. Let's go with the head, see if we can get it to move. There we go. He can look, let me see how far to go. He can look that far to his left, and I'm sure the equal opposite distance to his right. This is a great deal. It's good enough, and I'll have the 360. He just be looking at the panel. His arms are on a ball joint. Get his shoulders up this far. 360 at that ball peg. Bicep swivel, full 360. It's pegged in right there. Elbow bend, I'm doing it by accident already. A lot of range in his elbow. No such thing as a butterfly joint on these guys. Coming down to this wrist, there's nothing but the transformation hinge right there. But I guess that is something. Same articulation on the other hand. The waist, we can get a 360 out of it with that skirt in a way. I really wish this piece, I guess it wouldn't help me on the 360, but I wish it would fold back one more time, which it doesn't. Or fold up and in. Like no one at the board or the people that worked on this project was like, let's get that out of the way. Just fold it up into here or fold it back one time. But no, they just gotta have this thing right here. This is so they can make another version down the road and be like, hey, they got rid of the butt flap. All right, speaking of waist articulation, let's get back down here. Leg to the front, to the back, and we got the kid with the thing that's not out of the way. We can't go any past that. His legs out to the side this far. Thigh swivel right there, same hinge joint right there. Knee bend, bam. Foot articulation, we got a nice little rocker down there. It just rocks to this one side so you can get a wider stance and keep his feet on the ground. And I guess I pushed on it by accident and he has toe articulation. I really wasn't sure, but it is there to the front. Alright, let's get Brawn transformed. Let's get the gun out of his hand. Alright, we know the hands fold away right here. Boom. Man, it's stiff. Fold away right here. And he has some tabs under here, so these are going to come together at some point. Let's get these to the side and this head. Sure this unlocks and folds away. There is the bumper, so this rotates around. I'm not sure about how I like this rotation. And maybe scraping the paint. But the grill rotates out. And I think the head might just go back just like this. I'm going to lift this part up right here. like this, and we're going to take the arms and rotate these down. Both sides, rotate these down, and I see this folds out and goes right into here. Creates the window. Damn. It's kind of cool. And now we got to get these together. Rotate this around. There's a peg and port system right there. Get these together, and the legs, I believe these rotate. Maybe I should have rotated them first, but they rotate around. Then we can unhinge them like so. Fold this up, come around here, repeat the beat. Fold these up and unhinge the leg like so. And this is the outer truck. And the feet are going to collapse into this cavity right here. I can see that. Bam, and there's a tab on the front. Kind of missed it. We'll get it right on this side. Bring this around. Feet fold into the side. There's a tab, 2 tabs right here. You just put these together. Bam, and now we bring this down. You know what? See some more tabs. There's some tabs under his fist. The tab in, or I guess they are his fist. The tab into the back of the truck to hold that together. And we're going to bring this down. Are there any tabs down here? There's 2 tabs right here on the orangish yellowish plastic. I'm sure it has a name, but we're going to go with orangish yellowish. Let's see if I got it all tabbed in. Mostly all tabbed in. Get in there. And here is our Brawn on my first transformation. Let's give them down, see if he rolls. Alright, those 2 tires are rolling. And despite being plastic wheels, it rolls pretty good on my glass surface. And I'm sure you could take the gun on top, boom, boom. I don't know if it goes underneath. I don't see any place for it to go underneath, but somebody would probably call me out, or I'll probably see it after I've done the review. Like, you can store it underneath. As far as I know. And because this plugs in the top and plus it turns into this Jeep, even though Outback was not in the movie, I'm pretty sure this will be repainted in Outback and put in the Legacy line or something like that. It is coming soon. Good. I kind of don't know how I feel about this yellow sticking out in truck mode. I'm pretty sure it's part of his body anatomy, or was it? Actually, it wasn't part of his anatomy in robot mode. So why is that yellow on the front? He has molded in lights, molded in grill, painted plastic wheels, which is cool. We got this breakup right here. I don't know about that. Gas can on the back, and boy is it flat. It's just barely sticking out of the mold. Same thing on this side. We got the painted windows, and the back of the window is not painted. Are you freaking kidding me? We get a windshield wiper right here, but they did not bother to paint the back windows, those cheap bastards. And we get a nice Autobot logo right here. Looks pretty good. Molded in tire on the top. Still looks good to me. Here is a Legends class figure from a few toy lines ago. Was it? Get these side by side. Take a look. Brawn has come a long way over the years, and this was a little bit of a parts former. I never got any of the third-party Brawns, but and here is the Generation 1 little bitty, and he dusty. Woo. Dusty as heck. So you can see where he gets his inspiration from, and they didn't bother to try to paint this little block on the hood black or anything like that. He even has the little black on the hood right there. Those cheap bastards. Cool looking figure though. Jumping back into robot mode, here's how my 3 Brawns compare side by side height wise. And this guy just had like no face, just a slit in the mouth plate. And this has a much better cartoon accurate head. Okay, here's a little bit of more of a modern comparison. Here's 1986 Studio Series Grimlock and Ironhide. Alright, I wanted to go really big. Transformers Siege Jetfire. Alright, for my last Transformers comparison is MP36 Megatron. A lot of people wonder if we're going to get a Megatron in this line. I guarantee you we're going to get a Megatron. Will he be Generation 1 turned into a gun style? I kind of think so. And I know a lot of people are like, nah, man. I kind of think they're going to work it in there. And if they don't give us a Generation 1 style Megatron in gun mode, he will definitely come out looking Generation 1 cartoon accurate in his robot mode. Even if he turns into a tank, they're most likely going to hide all the treads and he's going to have a full Generation 1 representation. So you can mark it down, say the Age Transformer fan told you we are going to get a Megatron in the 1986 Studio Series toy line. Continuing the size up and rundown, here's Super 7's Thundercat Slive, SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Super Broly, Representing Marvel Legend and the X-Men, here are Phoenix Force Jean Grey and Rogue. Here's my final entry on the Size Up and Rundown. We've all seen it. We've always said it. The helmet to helmet. Here is Master of the Universe Classics Filmations Men-at-Arms. Right now, I'm going to put up Brawn next to the 1986 Transformers, the movie model, and take a look. And one of the first things that jumps out at me is the helmet was always a little bit more flared out. It makes more sense right here in the toy mode, but over here on the cartoon model, I mean, that's how he looked. And the chest is a little bit more rounded out. And I get it. It has to fit into the transformation. They kind of sort of nailed the waist area. He has like a little bit of blue over here. And he has like a little pin going through on this side. And he has silver at the kneecap. They kind of worked that in there. And the feet totally flare out like the Generation 1 toy for the cartoon model over here. But I still like what they were able to do here with this figure. Alright, my Transformers family, here is the conclusion of my final thoughts, and I'm going to be critical of the things that I don't like. I used to call it like nitpicks, but this is the things I don't like. I don't like the fact that they could have casted his chest in the orangish yellow plastic without it suffering in his vehicle mode. You couldn't even see it. It's still underneath, and they should have cast it in the same plastic they used for the thighs and his joints. That made no sense because you could see the green bleeding through the lines in the sculpt of the figure. I mean, it really bugs the heck out of me. Same thing with the fist. They just didn't want to use another type of plastic, but they could have casted his forearms and fists in silver plastic. That way we don't have to worry about it scraping off when you're putting the gun in and out of his hand. That really bugs me. And then another thing that bugs me, I'm gonna bring it up. Normally I might have given it a pass, but the little flap underneath the cap, and we've had butt flap issues on Transformers, even Masterpiece Transformers in the past. They could have had this fold back one more time to the window because they did not bother to paint the window, and they could have had it folded underneath into this huge cavity under here, which they could have did. I mean, they just didn't even bother to try. So it has to lose points for that. As far as this figure being probably the best official Brawn from Transformers that you can buy, yeah, it's definitely that. But it had clear room to be a great figure, and it's just pretty good. I like the inclusion of a gun because it just wouldn't have seemed right if he didn't have a gun. That's why he died in the movie, just running up on Decepticons unarmed. But they could have gave us a blast effect. At this price point, you didn't cast the plastic and you didn't paint the gun. So they could have gave us a blast effect to go with this guy. And if you sitting there saying, well, give us a blast effect and he didn't have a gun, well, they gave him a gun. He's holding it right now. So they could have went the extra mile and made me feel like I got banged for my buck with the blast effect. I recommend this figure if you are a Brawn fan and if you are collecting the Studio Series guys. And the articulation is pretty good, but it's going to be clunky because he's a robot. He's got to reach behind his robot parts. He doesn't have butterfly joints, and he's wearing a backpack. So, I mean, you got to know what you're getting when you get a Transformer. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you like this figure? Do you have it? Are you going to get it? And that's all I have, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews of every toy has a story. And don't bring Knuckles to a gunfight.